Hi everybody, Elisa here with another Vera Bradley bag of the day. Since it's the first day of spring today, I thought I would take advantage and do my top 10 Vera Bradley spring patterns. But as usual, I say it's top 10, but it's really 15 because I have trouble making decisions. Deal with it. It's my channel and I'll do what I want. So I did put them in, I got a little bit of a cheat sheet here with just the order because I'll never remember. I did try to put them in sort of an order, but honestly that could vary, you know, if I were to do this list tomorrow, the order might vary with a few exceptions. The first being what I'm starting with at number 15. So the first one that I'm starting with is on the list because it's so obvious I have to include it, and everybody who likes this pattern is saying, oh, I can't wait, you know, I'm so excited this spring I'm going to carry my Lavender Meadow. I used to really love Lavender Meadow. I'm numbering it 15, so it's making it into the list by the skin of its teeth. Because I think I've sort of outgrown it a bit, at least this version of it. I do really love Banquet Bouquet, which I've shown in previous videos, which was that special edition and that sort of a performance twill, monochromatic version of this. I love that. Just feels a little bit more sophisticated than this. And also Lavender Bouquet, which was the packable version of this. I do prefer that to this, and I did pull out something to show. Yes, I'm not going to remember what this is called, but this is the Lighten Up version of this, and it is on the website in the pattern archive. So it's the the Lighten Up version of Lavender Meadow, and I think this is great. This is very much this spring to me. I think it's the way that the pattern details are spaced out, so you see more of the negative space, you see more of the background. For some reason, that airiness to the pattern feels more spring-like to me than this, which just looks kind of crammed. So I really do like this. I would have bought more in this probably if it had, you know, ladybugs or bees or something, but it didn't have any of the critters, so I just, please don't jump. Okay. Okay, I'll make space for you. Don't drop that. I'm just lucky they're not chewing on each other's faces right now. So I do kind of like this one a little bit better than this now, having sat with them for, you know, a few years. I think this was 2019, but I'm not sure. But the date is in the pattern archive. Sorry, I can't remember the name of that. But anyway, Lavender Meadow. I did really love this, and I do have a video from way back when it first came out where I talk about the color in this as it relates to the color wheel and why I think this pattern is so successful. It is a successful pattern. And that's because of the way that they're using pairs of colors that relate to each other. They're complementary colors and other analogous colors, other color relationships that if you're familiar with a color wheel you would know about, and that's probably informing the color choices here and making for a really successful result color-wise. And of course you got, you know, the great bees and ladybugs. So I do get, there's a bee there, a ladybug there, there's another one there. And the leaves are great in this pattern. Those sort of like, almost like palm fronds. And they have some of the green tones in there, almost have a blue cast to them, which is really great. That's what first drew me into this pattern, were the leaves. More so than these big sort of flower heads, hydrangeas and whatever they are. This one definitely looks like a hydrangea. So I do think, and of course I wanted something with a little bit of the trim, which does have bees in it too. So while I do think it's a little too sweet for me now, I will hold on to this. I was considering selling it, but I won't say. I have a couple of reasons. One is that it's so small, it's too small for me, the small Vera. This is a small Vera. But I decided to hang on to it because of some information we got in the focus group, and I'm not sure how much I really should be sharing of that, but at some point it'll be more common knowledge, and then I could talk about why it sort of made me think twice, and I thought maybe I should save this. And it's got that great, don't worry, the small Vera toad is not going anywhere this time. Don't panic anybody. And the lining is great, you know, the multiple ladybugs, different renderings of ladybugs. This is, I should mention, one of the few Vera bags when I'm out carrying it that I get compliments on, that it's very pretty. So, you know, I have all these other bags that I like more, and I'm always, when I'm out with them, I'm like, why isn't anyone saying anything to me about my bag? Because nobody cares. But all kidding aside, though, this one does get some reaction when I carry it. People think it's very pretty. So that was 15. 14 is Best in Show. I know it's not necessarily very spring-like, and you can carry this all year long. I will carry it all year long, just like I carry Cat's Meow all year long. But because of the light background, again, that gray, light gray background, I felt like it's a good excuse to really call it out for spring. And this is the regular size Vera. Oh, so you can really see the difference in size here. I mean, I have comparison videos of these bags to show size. Probably my tote bag or my Vera tote playlists. I have a bunch of playlists for people if they want to poke around. It might be easier to find things that way. But you can really see the difference in size. I just feel like I have a struggle fitting all my stuff in here. And I feel like it looks kind of small on my body. Not that I'm a huge person, but I do feel like it looks a little small on me, a little precious on me. So this is I go for the humongous. Best in Show, number 14. Stored with some throws in there to keep its shape and try to contain all my throws. I'm not sure what's going on back there, but I don't like the sound of it. Did she steal your toy? Or did you steal hers? Why does it feel like it's all slobbery back here? Here, okay. You can have that one. She wants that one. You can have that one. Oh my word. Okay. Number 13, I'm sorry about that. Number 13, can sort of see a theme here in these light gray kind of backgrounds. This Park Stripe, this Performance Twill, very elegant pattern. I love this pattern. Again, stuffed with other stuff for storage, so I didn't bother to pull all that stuff out. And it's got a beautiful lining, which of course I probably won't be able to show because of all my stuff in here. But I do think this is a very elegant pattern. And again, the light gray, although I do think this is a good winter white kind of pattern, the light gray just sort of makes it feel a little bit easier to carry it in spring as the weather's getting warmer. I don't know if you can see the lining pattern in there a little bit. It's just so pretty. It just looks like pansies to me, which I love. I love pansies. Wish they would do an outside print with pansies. Yeah, I don't really care about the stripe so much. You can see the stripe in there. I probably would have liked it even better without the stripe, but you know, I deal with the stripe. Anyway, so, and again, this is a Performance Twill Vera tote, the big one. Very nice. I love the feel of the Performance Twill. Okay, so that was 13. Yes, 13. Okay, now, Hilo Meadow is number 12, and this is a factory outlet store pattern. And I'm not always crazy about all those patterns. They definitely have a different aesthetic. But I do like this one a lot. I love those sort of bright acid kind of colors on the black. I do feel like, you know, sometimes the black background makes something seem a little heavy and severe, but these bright colors on top of it, that like acid yellow and that acid kind of pea soup green, which is sort of over there. They really brighten it up and to me make it say spring. And that kind of really hot azalea kind of color really works for spring. So like that. Hilo Meadow, number 12. Number 11 also is kind of in the Lavender Meadow category of I'm not sure how I feel about it anymore. I do like it. Some days I really like it, and other days I'm kind of warm, you know, lukewarm about it. This is Garden Grove. This is the, oh, just I forgot to say, for people who are wondering about the bag style, this is the Go Ahead convertible crossbody, and I do have a bunch of videos on this because I have a couple of bags in this style, and I do like this bag a lot. This is a regular size Carson Shoulder Bag. A huge fan of this bag style, but I don't know why I just wanted it in this bag when it came out. And I love the lining here. It's almost, I almost feel like the lining is driving me to include this in my spring patterns list. I wish they would offer this in the custom section like they did with the lining of Foxwood. I would do a bag in this so fast. Love that lining. And I have the quilt in Garden Grove, and I use it with the lining side out as the main side fabric. You know, sometimes I can take this and sometimes I can leave it, but I do think it's good. It's a good spring pattern. I mean, the big flowers just scream spring, you know, after you've been sitting in winter for months and months. So Garden Grove, number 11. Now to 10. So we're officially in the top 10. Yes. I haven't talked about this in a while. Scattered Superbloom. I wish this had come out in more things. This is a packable version of the Superbloom patterns. And I love it. Looks like watercolor. It reminds me also of Seawater Blooms, the way that the flowers are rendered, this sort of almost like a wash of color put down with a watercolor brush. Love this. Love this pattern. And I love the bluish gray background that it's on. The colors really complements the flower colors. So love that. That was 10. Scattered Superbloom. Okay, number 9. Oh. Park Lace. Haven't shown this one in a while, but again, a good light colored bag with delicate details, flower details. So it seemed like a good spring option. And I don't carry this that much. I don't really think of it this much, even though it's in a part of my closet that's actually easy to get to. I think because I was thinking of holding off for spring with this one, so now I will use this one. It has a beautiful lining. Again, you're not going to be able to see it because I have it stuffed with stuff. But it has that hummingbird blooms lining, which is this, only smaller, and it's in a sort of a gray, a monochromatic gray in this bag. But anyway, Park Lace. I'll definitely use that. Oh, some loose threads. And this is the Vera tote again. Oh my god. Okay. Oh yes, this is a good vintage pattern. I don't think I've ever showed this bag. This is the Betsy. It's a little small for me, but I did want something in bees with the trim, and I didn't really feel like I wanted the villager for whatever reason. And this came up when I was looking at bees stuff, and it was new with tags. It was in great shape, nice and crisp. So, you know, there's something about this combination of the yellow with this real true like cornflower blue. I've always loved cornflower blue. I think it's a very flattering color with most skin tones, especially mine. someone who, you know, more olivey skin tone. So I know that they have now in the custom section, and I have been eyeballing them, the 2 versions of the bees in the different color backgrounds. But this is the original on the cornflower blue kind of color. That trim with the yellow flowers. It's very vintage looking. It's very old-fashioned looking, but I feel like in a good way. I mean, you're definitely buying this for that old-fashioned look. You're not buying this to look modern. And so the Betsy, I don't have my measuring tape, but it's a little on the small side, and it has a slip pocket here. And on the inside, it's just got 6 sort of quilted slip pockets, and it is removable. There's a removable cardboard base in a fabric sleeve. That whole thing comes out, and then the sleeve comes out, and then you slip the base out. So I did wash this. Even the lining is very kind of spring-like. Almost looks like clovers, but it's not clovers. It's just like a green sort of diamond shape. Anyway, very pleased with that. A little on the small side for me, so I haven't used it with all the coronavirus stuff, because I have a lot of coronavirus stuff with me, as most people do. They know what I'm talking about. So that was 8. So 7 is, yes, Penelope's Garden. This was I do have this packed up with my stuff today. This is a large Glenna packed up with stuff. So this Penelope's Garden, another factory outlet store pattern that I, you know, I'm surprised to find myself with so much of. But I do like the hedgehogs. It's all about the hedgehogs for me. The hedgehogs, and trying to avoid this. Not crazy about that big white flower, which happens to be right next to the hedgehog, one of the hedgehogs. But I feel like I lucked out, and where the hedgehogs are placed here, I did manage to avoid that flower on the side here. So I'm very pleased with this. I like that. It's got a very fresh kind of palette, you know, that minty kind of green with the white, and so it kind of works for spring. Yeah, and that's how it looks, sort of packed up. Sorry, I'm trying not to trip over all the bags on the floor here. So it gets a nice width this way, which I like. And I do like that the east-west pockets, and can just slip my car keys or something in there for easy access when I'm walking around. Very pleased with this bag. I can get all my stuff in there that I need. It's a little bit smaller than what I'm used to with the Vera, just a little bit, but I can make it work. This guy that slipped oh. I need to put my, I think I will try that maybe. I think I have a lazy Susan somewhere. I should put my laptop on that for easy swiveling. It's got a slip pocket there too, so that's another good thing to drop keys in or whatever when you're running around outside, or your cell phone. So that was that, number 7. And number 6, also a factory outlet pattern, Scattered Wildflowers. Love this pattern. Very delicate, and I feel like it's rarer now for Vera Bradley to come out with a pattern that is just small flowers or just a small motif. A lot of the patterns all have bigger motifs, or there's a mix of a pattern has some big and some small motifs. So to get one that's just all delicate, like dainty flowers, I feel like is a kind of a treat. It's nice to have that variety. And really love that this is a navy background that really reads as navy. You know, it just sort of softens the whole look. And I do like some of the patterns with the black backgrounds, but that definitely creates a sharper, sort of more severe, almost more urban kind of look. This is definitely it's definitely softened with that navy. I love that it really reads as navy. Those colors are so, that's a nice range of colors there. Pale peach and yellow, and that sort of darker reddish pink, and the light blue. Love the light blue. And white, of course, is white. Little bits of green. Very pleased with this one. Again, a large glen, another large glenna from the factory outlet store. Scattered wildflowers. That was 6. Okay. Now we get to a bunch of pinks. Pretty Posies pink, of course. How could you not consider this for spring? I mean, right? It just sort of screams spring. I didn't know when this pattern first came out, I really wasn't paying much attention, probably because I wasn't crazy about Pretty Posies. Then I saw this and I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, and it doesn't have the trim. And then, of course, you know, when it was all sold out, months after, you know, a long time after it was all sold out and you couldn't find it anywhere, then I became obsessed with it. And I went looking all around to various outlets to, you know, various stores online, see if I could find it, and Hallmark and whatever. So I did end up getting it, and I'm very pleased that I got it. It's definitely one of my prettiest bags. Very girly. But I do like it. Very happy. It makes me happy to carry this one. That's a good panel of fabric there. Panel of the pattern there. So pretty, what is this again? Pretty Posies pink, number 5. That was a breast cancer pattern. This is a good vintage pattern. I don't think I've shown this pattern yet. Petal Pink, I'm pretty sure it's Petal Pink. Check me, I'm sure it's on the website, in the archive. I have it down as Petal Pink with a note to double check, which I did not do. So number 4, and this is a Tic Tac Tote, the style I've talked about before, which I do love. Love this style, love this size, and I like the use of the trim. Does sometimes make it a little challenging. Certain patterns I feel like lend themselves better to this style with being crisscrossed by so much trim and cut up by so much trim. But this one, it works okay in this one. Very pretty. Pinks and greens, very fresh. Very, almost preppy, that combo, pink and green. Like this. It's a shame it's cut off, but I like this arrangement of the petals because it reminds me of the frangipani flower, if people are familiar with that. Oh, here it is, not cut off, where the petals sort of spool out from the center in an overlapping sort of circular way, like a pinwheel. Reminds me of frangipani, which is a good tropical flower. So I like this one. And I love the trim with all those flowers, you know, one right next to the other. They're whimsical. And this bag has, you know, hanging pocket sections. 2 slip pockets on one hanging panel and a zipper pocket on the other. And that's a nice spring-like lining too. Yeah, it's nice quilted pouches, quilted pockets. This lining almost looks like Camo Cat or something, only in green. And it has a piece of fabric covering the base. That piece of fabric down there in the bottom is not removable, but it's open on both ends, and the piece of cardboard slips out. You slip it out, and you can wash the bag that way. And there's this toggle, loop and toggle closure. I like the size of this bag, shape of it. Very pleased with this. I have a bunch of these. Tic Tac Tote, Petal Pink. That was 4. 3 is Felicity Paisley Pink, which I just love. Has a trim. Gotta love a Vera tote with the trim. And of course, you know, that beautiful pink background color. It's almost like ballet slipper pink. Just really love this. Love the small details. I'm always saying that. Love the small detail work in this pattern. And of course, the pink, you know, is just so, it's a perfect excuse for spring. I mean, just sort of screams spring. So this was, I know I just said it and I can't remember. 3. Felicity, Paisley, Pink, Vera Tote, also a breast cancer pattern. Not sure about Petal Pink. I don't think Petal Pink was a breast cancer pattern, but I'm not sure. They used to have a section on the website. If you scroll down to the very bottom where all like the about information was and their causes, and then you went to the breast cancer foundation section, they had they would group all their breast cancer patterns there. That may still be there. I don't know. I haven't checked recently. So that was always, I felt that was kind of a useful thing to just have the breast cancer patterns sort of all ganged up together. Number 2, Itsy Ditsy Navy. I did pull Itsy Ditsy out of, yeah, here's some Itsy Ditsy I just happen to have in my bees, stored in my bees, in my bees bag. This does not scream spring to me so much because of the colors, but this does. This absolutely does. The navy background and these beautiful pink, pinks and lavenders. It's not really pink. Well, there is a little bit of pink, but it's more lavenders and light purples and some of the green and a bit of aqua. I love the little bits, touches of aqua and like light blue in here. This to me definitely says spring, more so than this, which feels wintry, feels cool. Even though it's got reds in here, they all have a cool cast to them. All the tones in here have a cool cast. Even the yellow in this has a cool cast to it. Not a very warm pattern. Just love this. And of course it's got all critters, it's got bees and ladybugs and dragonflies and butterflies. So, it's got them all. It's got everything I need. Critter-wise. This is one of my custom bags. Itsy Ditsy Navy is in the custom fabric section. Who knows how much longer it'll be there. So if you want a bag in it, I would say do it now while it's still there before they yank it. Because it's been there for a while now. And they just pulled this. They just pulled Cloud Vines Multi, which was loaded up about the same time that this was. So Cloud Vines Multi is a great spring kind of pattern, and it's my lining here. I was going to do a bag in this, and then they pulled the fabric, so I missed out. Very upset about it. Still kind of angry at them about that. Because I feel like they should give us a heads up when they're going to remove fabric so that people don't miss out. I mean, these are not cheap bags to begin with, and then when you do a custom bag, they're even more expensive. So people are saving up. They're trying to budget. And so it's a gamble. You're always like living on the edge of, oh my God, when my, can I wait? How much longer can I afford to wait before that fabric might not be there anymore? And if they would just tell people, I think people would put their orders in then. People who were waiting will say, okay, well, I have to do it now. So I don't understand why they don't do that. And I could talk endlessly about it, and I do. And that was 2, Itsy Ditsy Navy, again a Vera Tote. And number 1 is the just released Seawater Blooms, because I love this pattern, Performance Twill, Vera Tote, the newly styled Vera Tote, the more newer styling. Like I said in my video about this, this is not the first Performance Twill bag to be released with this new Vera styling, but it's, it's fairly new, revamped. Love this pattern, just love it, really. It's just very soft, very calm, and the colors are very spring-like. And it has a sort of tropical feel to it because of the type of the foliage. Just so pleased with it. I was pleased with my pattern placement. I did order 2 of these to try to, be able to pick pattern placement. I'm going to return the other one. This was the first one that delivered, so I really only needed to order the one, but I just didn't want to, I just wanted to, increase my chances of getting pattern placement that I liked, so very pleased with that. What is going on back here? Please, it's spring. We should all get along. Anyway, that was it. My top 10, but it's really 15 Vera Bradley spring patterns. And it's also, I think I have to check the exact wording, but it's also National Quilt Day, and so I was going to jump on to do another video about the quilt patterns, especially because I think I want to unpack my, when I go out, I think I want to unpack my my Penelope's garden and put it into my quilt floral for National Quilt Day. So I will jump on with the quilt patterns in a bit. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and hopefully see you next time on Vera Bradley Bag of the Day. Okay, did she steal that? Here.